everything wrong with the Pixel 4. Let's go! Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech so honest it hurts. Yeah! If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back again. I really do appreciate it. Let's just get straight into the discussion that we have at hand here. Everything wrong with the Google Pixel 4. In this Everything Wrong series, I like to just think about the phone. If I were just a regular person kind of thinking about a phone to purchase because it's time for me to get a new phone, what would give me pause when considering the Pixel 4 over other phones? There's always something for every phone that is not quite right for every user, or not quite right, period. The Pixel 4, however, is not quite right for a lot of reasons, and we're going to go over those. The first thing I really want to talk about is the cosmetic aspects of the phone. Now, this might be a little surface level, but you know, it matters to people what their phone looks like, how it feels in the hand, as they say. So we've got three colors this year. We've got white, we've got black, we've got orange. And each phone has a black matte aluminum rim around the sides. Flat screen, which is cool. I like the flat screen. And the backs of the phones are matte glass, except for the black, which is glossy. And a glossy black phone is going to show a lot of fingerprints. I'm kind of OCD about that. I know a lot of other people are. I don't know why they decided to go with glossy black. I mean, a glossy white would actually not show the fingerprints as much, but hey, you know, that's what they did. That's something that could matter to you. It definitely made me not choose the black, which I usually choose black, so that's saying something. They also decided to go away from the notch that they had in the Pixel 3 XL last year and give us just a giant forehead. We got thin bezels along the sides, but the forehead, the top of the phone is wide. It's big. And then the bezel on the bottom is not big. And that sort of asymmetrical look is really bothersome to me. I think that if you used black backgrounds or dark backgrounds, maybe it wouldn't be as noticeable, but as soon as you get into something that's white, you'll notice this sort of difference. And I like symmetry. I like symmetry, and that this doesn't have the symmetry. Now let's get into some of the more serious issues. First off, I want to talk about the battery size for both of these phones. The Pixel 4 has a 2800 milliamp hour battery inside. That is incredibly small for 2019. I can't see people getting more than, say, 4 or so hours of screen on time. And that's not enough to say you're going to be confident and not have battery anxiety when using that phone throughout the day. And to add sort of insult to injury with that, Google does offer fast charging, but only 18 watts, whereas Samsung and others are offering up to 45 watts, which will be much faster. The XL version of the phone has a 3700 milliamp hour battery, which is still kind of on the low side, but will be probably better. Google has a lot of new features going on here. 90 hertz refresh rate. They've got motion sense. They've got a bunch of stuff that they put into this phone that's going to stress the battery significantly. And so if you want the best battery life, you might have to turn these things off. But if you turn them off, you don't get to use the features that may have made you want to buy the phone in the first place. Google has just not stayed at pace with the rest of the smartphone manufacturers in this year. The iPhone 11, great battery life. The iPhone 11 Pro, great battery life. The iPhone 11 Pro Max, great battery life. Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, great battery life. Across the board, great battery life available in all the competitors, basically, to this phone. And this phone really underdelivers in the battery department. Another sort of high-level consideration we have to make is the price of the Pixel phone. It starts out for the small version, 64 gigabytes, $799. And then the bigger version starts at $899. This is a tough sell. This is where I would really, really struggle, because the iPhone 11 starts out at $699, a whole $100 cheaper. And the OnePlus 7T that's just been released starts out at $599. While the iPhones start out at a base storage of 64 gigabytes, the OnePlus 7T starts out at 8 gigabytes of RAM, only 6 gigabytes on the Pixel line, and 128 gigabytes of UFS 3 storage. I don't believe that the Pixels have UFS 3 storage either. That's a faster storage than what's been in smartphones up until this year. The OnePlus 7 Pro earlier this year, now the OnePlus 7T, the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and other phones have adopted this newer, faster storage, and Google has left that out of the Pixel 4. Another thing that they've left out in terms of specs is the Snapdragon 855 Plus chip. The 855 came out, and it was the chip that was in most phones in the earlier part of the year, but the 855 Plus is what we're seeing in a lot of phones here toward the end of the year. So Google has left it out and gone with the 855. Now, this might be a nod toward wanting to conserve battery. The 855 Plus is really just sort of an overclocked 855. It's going to draw more power, so it might be a little harder on the battery. Maybe that's why Google went with this, but still, it's the older version of the chip. As we get into actually using the phone, they have a new gesture-based interaction system. They've got motion sense, but also gesture-based interaction with the UI itself. In order to be able to use this new gesture-based interface, you have to, A, not have G Suite of any kind attached. So if you use G Suite for school or work, the Pixel 4, you won't be able to utilize a lot of these fancy new features. Now we move on to the camera, and it's the Google has always been known for the camera. The reason that people buy the Pixel is for the camera. The Pixel lags so far behind in other features, but the camera is so good that that's really the only reason that the Pixel has stayed alive at all. And they improved the camera this year. We've got 2 lenses instead of 1, but for some reason they chose a telephoto lens instead of an ultra-wide. And ultra-wide would be a lot more useful to a lot more people, whereas telephoto is going to be something that's used in very specific situations if you want to get close-up shots, macro shots, that kind of thing. So that's a little bit of a head-scratcher. They also don't have 4K 60 frames per second video with the back cameras, and most of the rest of the competition has 4K 60. So Google continues to lag behind the competition in video. On the front-facing camera, they don't offer 4K video at all. They offer 1080p 60, but the new iPhones offer 4K 60 frames per second on the front-facing camera. So they made some choices with the camera that are very head-scratching. And here's maybe one of the most damaging things about this phone. Google has always given away free cloud storage for full-res photos with the Pixel phone. So everything was backing up at its full resolution, and you never had to worry about that. You didn't have to worry about keeping that stuff on your phone, and it was free for people who bought a Pixel. But this year with the Pixel 4, for some reason, they have decided to take that away. So that's one of the biggest selling points that the Pixel had, and now it's gone. And of course, there's no headphone jack. We knew that was coming, but this year they're not giving us USB-C headphones, nor are they giving us a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter in the box. To get USB-C headphones from Google, you have to pay an additional $30 to get the USB-C Pixel Buds. $30 is a lot of money for a set of headphones that should have come in the box. Now, there's other stuff. I don't want to get super nitpicky as I go through this video. These are the big headlines. These are the big features that would keep me from buying the Pixel. Now, I do have a Pixel coming, and I am going to review it, but if I were considering buying this phone as just a normal average consumer, these things would really stop me in my tracks. But the big headlines for me are the battery, the price, taking away that unlimited photo storage, and too much sacrificed in too many places for the price that they're asking compared to the competition. This is a really tough sell for me. And maybe it is for you too. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Are there too many compromises in the Pixel 4 to make it something that would compel you to buy it? Are you on board? Tell me why not? Down in the comments below, we'll have a boisterous discussion. At any rate, once again, Thanks so much for being here. If this was your first time and you want to come on back again, you can like, subscribe, bell notify, etc., so you can find out when more Painfully Honest videos are available. And if you've been here before, thank you ever so much. Please consider becoming a member of the channel. Down below, there's a join button, and a lot of cool perks are offered for channel members. To recap, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest, it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.